Russell Dinkins presents The Boardroom Meeting, featuring Rodney Little.
We're about the children. We want to put the call out for everybody to participate.
And of course, Russell Dinkins.
Some of you guys have the ability to create your own. You've never been told that. You haven't been encouraged to do that. And if you do so, you can follow your own dream.
Now let's get it started right here on The Boardroom Meeting, where the community does business.
Welcome to this edition of the Boardroom Meeting. I'm your host, Russell Dinkins, and we're having a great show today. We're a little tardy, I know, and we're trying to still set up, but we have Elwyn Foster Care in the house today, or actually, I should say, in the Boardroom Meeting. Hello, ladies. How are you guys doing today?
Fine. Hello.
We're good.
All right,
How are you?
Okay. All right. I'm going to let you self-introduce. So we'll start from...
Hi, I'm Nicole Crawford. I'm the therapeutic trainer and recruiter for Elwyn Treatment Foster Care.
Yes, ma'am. And next?
It's Michelle Hodge, recruiter for Elwyn.
Okay.
And Janine Davis. I am a parent, foster parent.
Foster parent. Okay. All right. Okay. And we're trying to set up, we're going to be videotaping this experience. And I know the ladies didn't know that, but we are trying to get the camera set up. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start the video next segment. That way you'll be able to comb your hair and get your lip gloss right and all that type of stuff.
I'm ready now.
Are you ready now? Okay.
Yes, we are.
there you go.
Yes, we're ready right now.
All right. Well, since you're a recurring guest on the Boardroom Meeting, tell us a little bit about Elwyn Foster Care for those people who did not get a chance to hear the first segment.
Okay. Well, shame on them for not hearing the first segment, but Elwyn Treatment Foster Care is a treatment-based program. We work throughout 5 counties in Pennsylvania, providing homes and therapeutic care for kids in need.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Parent, how has the experience been so far with Elwyn, and as far as the recruitment of yourself, or whether you went to them? I don't know what the story is, but the inception of your child placement and the experience that you had since your child has been placed.
It's been very rewarding, I should say. The children are they're needy, they're challenged, and I love them. That's what's most important. Okay,
so, typically people are afraid of having foster children in their homes because you hear a lot of stories about checkered past of these children, and not so much them, but their parents, and bringing that type of those type of challenges in your home. Do you have other children in your home as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what would you say to the people who are considering foster parenting but are concerned about how that may impact the harmony of their home?
I think that if they just give the children a chance, if they meet them, everything on paper means nothing if you don't. You just have to communicate with the children. And
okay.
It's very rewarding when you talk to them and you interact with them, and they really love you and they really adjust very well.
Have there been any issues at school with the child that you have placed in, and how's your interaction with the school officials?
Absolutely. There are challenges in school with the children because of the different atmosphere that they are being faced with, and we deal with them face value, and they get through it very well.
Okay. All right. Well, Nicole, is this the typical experience of the parents that are coming through Elwyn, or is this parent the anomaly, or what's going on there?
The experiences, we get mixed reviews from our parents, but I will say that majority of them are parents and I have multiple placements because they do have a good experience with our program. Ms. Davis is not an anomaly. Ms. Davis in herself, honestly, is a remarkable parent. Her heart is so big.
Thank you.
And, that's why she's here today, because, we want more parents like her. We have a lot of great foster parents in our program, but Ms. Davis, she just goes above and beyond. And I honestly think she probably would have half the kids that we have if she had a bigger home. I think her home size, she's filled every bed that she's had. She's bought more beds and filled those. She would take every kid. I always say I would bring my own kids to Miss Davis's home because she's that loving of a person, and it's truly genuine. I don't think she looks at them as foster kids. Any kid that goes in her home is her child, and that's how they are. They never want to leave. It's like Disneyland. You never want to go home. It's always a fun, pleasant, nurturing atmosphere from her biological children. You don't know which child is not hers. You can't tell that in her house.
So you're the professional foster care parent, if you will.
With the help of Elwyn, there was a lot that I had to learn, even though I had 4 biological children of my own. There was a lot that Elwyn taught me to deal with children with challenges, children with different backgrounds than what I've raised children to be.
Right.
Interacting with the children and teaching them the morals that need to be taught and the love that needs to be given.
Right. Okay.
Will ultimately change the child into a different person. It just transforms them.
So what goes into, I guess the logistics of it is that you have to have a home that's big enough to accommodate these children. Is that right, Michelle and Nicole?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a large home. Ms. Davis has a large, beautiful home out in Montgomery County, but you could have a 2-bedroom apartment. If you have space for the child, a home is,
Well, it's part of the evaluation is that you don't want to have the children on top of each other. Is that right?
We don't want to have children on top of them. We don't want to have children in the room with you. We need at least a room for the child. They
Right.
can't be on a sofa bed. They can't be in the living room. They need to have a room with the door,
Right.
and things of that nature. But yeah,
Is foster care? Let me ask this question. Let me think about this for a second before I say it. I want to be politically correct. Are you looking for the traditional nuclear family where their husband and wife and the children? Or does it not matter? Or if there is a male in a home, is that of particular interest given the fact that there have been problems with child abuse and different things over the years with children?
No, we're not looking for a particular family. The makeup of family has changed so much, especially in this day and age. We're looking for a person or persons who can provide a loving structure for the children, a therapeutic environment for them. It could be a man and a woman. It can be a same-sex couple. It can be a single parent. As long as they have, the proper parameters and support that can provide a nurturing and therapeutic environment for this child, we're more than happy to have you in our program.
Okay. All right. So are more and more people gravitating towards the program as of late, or are you seeing the numbers starting to wane? Or what is the trend currently?
Go ahead.
Well, give her a chance. Let her have a chance to talk to
I'm
us.
sorry. I'm preaching the gospel of foster care.
And I appreciate that. I think as a recruiter, we're really trying to spread the word throughout Montgomery County, Bucks-Chester, and we're hoping to get more and more foster parents. I think we have a lot of foster parents that came out in the Philadelphia area.
Right.
And I think that people in the counties are surprised to know that there's a need. I think people are like, really, wow, there are kids that, need placement. So we've been really trying to increase our efforts in the counties, and we're hoping that that's going to change. But we've been having a lot of, people come in from the Philadelphia area.
Is there a crisis of confidence out there as far as people not knowing that they will be good foster parents? Do you think that people feel that they need to have more, I guess, childhood education? They need to be in a certain economic condition. Do you think that people are actually carving themselves out the process before stepping forward?
I definitely think so. I think we've done a lot of health fairs lately, and people are like, oh, I didn't know I could be a foster parent. When they look at the requirements of what, and Nicole can speak more about what those requirements are in depth. But I think people do kind of talk themselves out of becoming foster parents. Maybe they felt they grew up in a troubled environment. There are some foster parents that we've been having that perhaps need to be talked out of being foster parents, but the ones that are out there, obviously we try to say to people that, if you do have the minimum requirements, you have, a home, you don't have any issues in terms of, child abuse issues in the past, that definitely you can become a foster parent.
Well, what's your name again? I'm sorry?
Janine.
Janine. Okay. I won't make that mistake again.
Okay.
All right, Janine. Did you have any apprehensions about becoming a foster parent, or did you already know that was a good fit for you and that you could do it?
Absolutely. I had apprehensions about children that I did not know.
Okay.
With them listening and not listening to you, how will they be?
Well, how many children do you have?
Currently, I have 5 children that were in care with Elwyn that
Okay.
are with me and will be with me permanently.
Oh, so
throughout
you
my
have
life.
learned to make them listen, huh?
No, not make them listen, but persuasion goes a long way, and
Persuasion, okay.
love and care, and
Yeah.
if you just get along with them.
Yeah.
I want to say to the
They
family,
know
my mom
she's
had
genuine.
persuasion too, but I didn't always like it. But
positive persuasion.
I don't see it as persuasion in her household. I've been in her household before I got this job. I was in the homes more often, and I've been in her household several times, multiple occasions. It's not persuasion with her. I think the kids really understand that she's genuine and she's
Right.
sincere, and it's about time that they found someone who really cares about them.
Okay.
So I think when kids meet her, even people in general, when they meet her and they understand what her makeup and her character, they just trust her and they just love her. And I think once they get in that home, I'm going to listen to her and I'm going to follow the rules because, she honestly does care, and she's not going to do what everybody else said they were going to do and not, be true to her word. And I think that's what the kids realize. And when they get in their home, it's just a different atmosphere.
And I think that's what we need in terms of foster parents is really having the patience,
Right.
really being consistent, with the children. I mean, I think some foster parents feel like, I can provide, a home. But you really, I think with the youth that we have at Elwyn, they have suffered trauma.
Right.
And you really need to have, that extra effort to be able to work with those kids. And I think that that's what sets us apart from some of the other foster agencies is that we do try to give a lot of training to our foster parents to be prepared, unfortunately, with some of these kids that have experienced trauma in their lives.
So, Janine, are you trying to have you got your kids involved in extracurricular activities or church involvement?
absolutely. The children, they are a lot withdrawn when you first get to them. They're afraid.
Right.
They don't want to do anything. But then with encouragement and love and
Sports and different other type of things?
yes, they're in music. They're singing now. There's a lot of other things. As a mother, I was afraid myself to be a foster parent. I was saying, foster, wow, that's a big word to a lot of parents who really don't know. And Elwyn will help you to learn all the things that you need to learn to deal with a child with treatment and special needs, because it's hard and it's very scary for a parent to try and deal with a child that, really is not used to, being with you. You don't know them. So,
well, we've been trying to position Elwyn with certain of our power brokers in this community, more specifically some of the larger employer groups, and I'm having ongoing conversations with them. And I was trying to get someone on today, but there was a scheduled conflict at the last minute. However, what would you say to someone who's working a 9-to-5, who basically wants to give back to their community, sees a need in being a foster care parent, but are concerned about how that would impact their work schedule and their other obligations to their family and to their employer?
I'd like to say to those people, treat children the way they would treat their own children if they gave birth and they had to make room. Make room and don't be afraid to make room.
Right.
Interact with the children. Don't be afraid of that, because once you interact with a child, everything else is obsolete. Everything else is easy.
Right.
Once you deal with the children, go to the trainings, see what there is out there for you. It's not a really extensive training and everything like that. They work with you as a parent and as a person that's working out there,
Absolutely. We're going to take our first break here, and when we come back, we're going to have more Elwyn Foster Care. Stay tuned.
Have you ever considered becoming a foster parent? Let Elwyn Treatment Foster Care make it a reality. Elwyn Treatment Foster Care provides placement services for children and adolescents who have mental health, developmental, emotional, and behavioral challenges. The children often come from troubled or difficult backgrounds. The children need our help to resolve issues of trauma, trust, separation, and loss. Elwyn Treatment Foster Care provides the foster parent with ongoing training and support, opportunities for adoption, competitive stipend rates, and paid respite care services. To engage in this rewarding opportunity, you must be at least 21 years old, a U.S. citizen, a Pennsylvania resident, employed or have sustainable income, and you must own and operate a vehicle. You must also have a Pennsylvania driver's license, pass a criminal background check, and have adequate bedroom, space, and furnishings for a child. Additional requirements include homeowners or renters insurance and completing 40 hours of pre-service training. Help change a child's life today. Call Elwyn Treatment Foster Care at 215 888-578-3100, extension 115.
We're a Philadelphia advertising agency, American Advertising Services, and our job is to create solutions for your business problems. Do you want more customers, more sales for your products or business services? American Advertising has helped many, many area companies, large ones, small ones, family-owned, firms just like yours. If you are in business and serious, make American Advertising your advertising agency. Per job assignments welcomed. American Advertising Services. We are serious about helping your business.
American Advertising Services is located at 29 Bala Avenue, Ballackinwood, PA 19004. 29 Bala Avenue, Ballackinwood, PA 19004. You can call them at 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060, 484-562-0060.
If you are injured in a work-related accident and can't work, you may be faced with loss of income and high medical bills. This is an extremely serious and stressful situation for you and your family. You need to know your options under the Pennsylvania Workers' Compensation Law. You need an attorney from Touchstone & Associates. For a free consultation, call 215-557-5181 or email akt@touchfirm.com or visit touchfirm.com. Touchstone & Associates.
How can you repay those who sacrifice so much? The Veterans Multi-Service Center exists solely to serve those who serve this great nation, our veterans, and we've done it since 1980. Now, you can get involved. Visit the Veterans Multi-Service Center website at vmcenter.org to find ways to support veterans throughout the region today. That's vmcenter.org to support veterans throughout the region today.
Do you know that most funerals cost more than $10,000? Will your family be able to pay for your outstanding medical bills? Dinkins Insurance Agency Senior Life Insurance Program is designed to meet your insurance needs. Keep in mind, your premiums will never increase and your benefits will not decrease, regardless of health. Call Dinkins Insurance Agency now for an in-home counseling session at 610-803-3684. Reps are standing by.
Alpha Enterprise Group, formerly Alpha Office Supplies, has been the main supplier of office products and services to major corporations for the past 29 years. Alpha is an original Philadelphia company providing jobs in our local communities with one thought in mind, helping those who need opportunity. Their complete line of office products includes commercial flooring, furniture, energy management, and warehouse storage. Their new state-of-the-art Office of the Future is designed with the most energy-efficient products available today. Alpha invites you to visit their new showroom at 4950 Parkside Avenue in West Philadelphia to see the integration, office design, and technology at its best. When you're looking for a company that is first in service with a personal touch, look no further than to Alpha Enterprise Group. Their goal is to always exceed your expectations. Grand opening for their new facility is scheduled for mid-May 2014. Call Alpha at 1-800-226-2690, and they will be glad to introduce your company to the future of office design.
Philly, Jersey, Delaware, you ready to party this holiday season? Okay, checklist. Ladies, you got that new dress?
Check.
Babysitter?
Check.
Fellas, what about the drinks? Check. Who's calling BKG Limousine? Who? Our designated driver? I'm trying to party, not get a DUI. Good point. What's their number? 215-228-BKG1. And with this weather, what's better than door-to-door service?
Okay, I'm calling 215-228-BKG1.
Or log on to bkglimousine.com and tell them you want their new state-of-the-art party bus.
Are you interested in buying a home but you are short on money for a down payment? Is a short sale, a bankruptcy, or a foreclosure affecting your ability to get credit? Do you need to stop your foreclosure in its tracks? Or are you just plain stressed out about your mortgage and other monthly expenses? Pure Hearts Are Us Housing Corporation can help you achieve the American dream of financially sound home ownership. Pure Hearts Are Us will help you get out of debt, build up your credit, stop your foreclosure, or buy a home for less than 1% down. Pure Hearts Are Us is a nonprofit, full-service housing corporation certified by NeighborWorks America. Call for a free consultation at 661-361-1172. That's 661-361-1172. Or visit the website at www.pureheartsrus.org. That's www.purehearts.rus.org.
Cognis IT is a local company providing managed IT support services, private cloud computing services, and web-based custom application development services to clients who are either looking to completely outsource technology support or to augment the skill sets of their existing IT staff. Cognis IT has been ranked on the Philadelphia Business Journal's Philly 100 list as one of the fastest growing privately held firms in the Delaware Valley for the last 2 years. Cognis IT has also been ranked by Smart CEO magazine as one of the Delaware Valley's 50 fastest growing companies for 2 of the last 3 years. Cognis IT's CEO, Jeffrey Kent, is passionate about hiring and mentoring young people and helping to inspire them to success. So whether you are looking for an IT company with a proven and impressive track record for your company or an excellent work environment to enhance your career, call Cognis IT at 610-409-9555.
Hi, I'm Tara Colquitt, the Credit Woman. Don't remember my name, but remember what I do. I will help you understand and improve your credit. You can reach me at thecreditwoman.com, on Facebook at The Credit Woman, by email at thecreditwoman@gmail.com, or by phone at 215-350-2483. Whether you have a job, looking for a job, an entrepreneur, or planning to purchase a home, your credit is a major factor in your success. Contact me for pre-qualification to determine if I can help you help yourself. It is imperative for you to act now because improving your credit score saves you money. Again, you can reach me at thecreditwoman.com, Facebook, The Credit Woman, email thecreditwoman@gmail.com, or call 215-350-2483. I look forward to helping you today.
Tara can make credit issues seem less overwhelming and simple to fix. She can take the fear out of unknown credit issues. Take your business to the next level with Grace Financial Capital Group. With 25 years of experience, Grace Financial has forged customer relationships through strong customer service. Instead of going to bank after bank for a loan and being treated like just another customer, join the team at Grace Financial, who work with multiple banks to make sure you get exactly what you need and more. Grace Financial will treat your business just like theirs. Let them take your business to the next level. Located at 29 Bala Avenue in Bala Cynwyd, PA, call 610-664-3129. That's 610-664-3129, or visit gracefinancialcapitalgroup.com to get started. Grace Financial Capital Group, a trusted name for over 25 years.
And we are back. And we're back in studio with Elwyn Foster Care, and we are talking about the acquisition of foster care parents to the Elwyn family, if you will, and making sure that the kids out here are receiving the love and care that they deserve. Now, as far as the public school systems go, and you know, I guess the first school of thought is that they have counselors inside of schools, and they have outreach programs to parents, and they have other nonprofits around the city that are designed to help people that are having problems and issues at home. When does that not become enough?
It's never enough. The school systems are doing the best that they can, but unfortunately they have limited resources. They have an abundance of children, not enough staff, not enough resources. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's not enough. Our youth need more. They need more in the homes. They need more structure, a more nurturing atmosphere. Parents are working multiple jobs in order to maintain a home structure. Sometimes they don't have the resources and to accommodate the child and to provide that nurturing structure in the home. So.
Well, and the other thing about it is playing the advocate. You have children that come from tough situations, where there's not enough money, where there's parents that are maybe on drugs or alcohol, where they have to live with grandmothers or other relatives, and they seem to get through and make out okay. So where does the dots line up that that really say that when Janine comes in and saves the day? Is it something that happens through the court system, or is it something that where it spins out of control and a neighbor gets involved, or at what point in time does it become necessary for Janine to get involved?
It becomes necessary when the child's basic needs aren't being met. Typically, the courts are involved. Sometimes we have placements through informal, like kinships or
Right.
formalized kinships. And kinship is just foster care with someone the child knows, some kin. It could be a family friend or the neighbor or the relative, something like that.
Right.
And then they can be a part of our program through that way. But Ms. Davis would be involved when the child's basic needs aren't being met, and then the court system takes over for a temporary solution so that the child's needs can be met until mom and dad or mom or whoever can, find something that's more safer for the child, a more nurturing atmosphere.
Well, if I can say that, I think the city and DHS tried to work with the family as best as possible. So I
Right.
really don't want the impression that, foster parents are just thrown in. I think they give as many resources as they can to that parent or guardian to try to fix the situation, whether they put resources in their home to try to secure that family. And when all else fails and all of the resources have failed, that's when they step into an agency like Elwyn, and where Ms. Davis is able to become a foster parent to provide those services. But even when the foster parents are involved, the city, still continues to work with these parents to work to try to get their children back. So I don't want people to think that, foster care is really the end all and be all, but it's a great resource for those children that, may need that love and care from an outside party until their guardians or parents are able to really get their situations rectified.
And we often hear about children making the migration from home to home to home through the foster care system. Is that the norm, or is it? I know that it's probably more ideal for them to get with a loving family and to stay with them throughout their duration of time. But why is it that there are certain instances where they end up making that journey?
I think oftentimes too, I think at Elwyn we try to really make sure that our parents are trained, because I think the key issue is some of these children that are coming into care really do have extensive issues, really have extensive problems. So we try to make the best match as possible. Sometimes that match is not always as conducive because we have to get these children in an emergency basis.
Right.
So they may come in and they're with one parent, while we can find a foster parent that's really appropriate for them, whether it's close to their school surroundings, close to their family. And we try to make sure that we keep those linkages together. So it's not so much for the lack of, having the right foster parent. It's sometimes making sure that we do as much matching as we can so that we can, really have the success for that, youth to really remain in the home. So sometimes you do go from one parent to the next until we're able to say this is the best match for them. And sometimes we get it the first time, and sometimes it takes us a couple times to ensure that we get the appropriate foster parent in place.
But Janine, in your experience, how long on average does it take for you to establish the house rules or the boundaries inside your home? Every home has rules and different customs, and people are coming from different places. So when they arrive at your doorstep, they may have a different idea of what family is. How do you first introduce them to your rules, and how do you go by making them your rules enforced?
Well, first of all, I talk to the children and I get their feedback on how they feel about things.
Okay.
I learn about how they had rules and how their rules affect them. And then I introduce to them how different my rules are versus what they're used to.
Right.
And that adjustment is good.
Okay.
And that change is good. And when you teach a child that change is good, they really want to grasp on to the change. Right. They want the difference. They really do.
Okay. All right. So you haven't found it to be a huge obstacle in them making the transition from whatever the rules or customs were for where they were to your rules that you currently have?
Not at all.
Really?
Not at all. They really do a great job with transitioning over, because it takes time for the child and I to interact with each other, connect, talk to them. and see what, oh, did you do this, before? This is how things work, because this is how things work with us. And that's okay for it to be different. And then they say, oh, wow. They just take on and they adopt that situation.
How do you address the children who are used to attention but through bad actions rather than getting attention for positive reinforcement?
Well, I usually acknowledge to them that I understand that this is what they want and this is what they need, but we can do a positive attention. And it shows them, wow, she's actually paying me some attention. And I don't have to do bad things in order to get that. Right. Also, I will come to them and say, well, this is our time to spend together. This is our time to do this and that. And I'm always attentive to them. Right. And if you give a child encouragement all the time, they won't even look for trying to get attention in a negative way. If you always give them positive attention.
I think you should be everybody's mom.
Thank you.
I really go back to